Yeah, buddy. So we're going right with the coin toss. And ladies and gentlemen, we got a couple topics that we like to hit. Normally hit on whatever's going on in the league, whatever the top stories are. And if you watched any football on Saturday, there was one game that you saw, because at first you were sitting here like, what is happening? And then you saw who was quarterback and you said, ooh, no lead is safe. And that lead was blown. I'm coming to you, Delilah. The Colts were up 33-0, and I guarantee nobody saw that coming. But then I don't know if anybody saw the biggest comeback in NFL history, a 33-point comeback to win the game. But Matt Ryan again. He's here again. Will he ever get over this one? He might need to retire.
Yeah, he's on the wrong side of history of two. First, the Super Bowl one, sorry, Anthony, was like...
Oh, don't apologize.
That one was like the Super Bowl record, like the largest comeback, deficit and then comeback. Now he has not just the NFL, but all time in NFL history, like because it was 33-0. And I'm
about to get that one right there.
Man, I thought, what? Wow, the Colts, boom, they're going to get the W, 33-0. I didn't think it would stay 33-0. I thought they'll get some touchdowns in the second half, right? They're known for that. But I didn't think he would get 4 different receivers, by the way. It was 4 different receivers and 4 separate touchdowns to come back and completely, in my opinion, demoralize the Colts. Absolutely. And Matt Ryan, I do feel bad because he's got these 2 things will hang over his head forever. Sadly, he's gonna overshadow the Matty Ice thing, the fact that he has good records. Mm-hmm. These 2 things are just they're gonna kill it, man. I just, there was a time where I might have been like, yeah, he might. It'll take a few ballots. He might get in the Hall of Fame. Not the first time around, but this time. Not now. Not anymore.
No. You got to win multiple Super Bowls. You got to come back down 50-0.
Come on, look, Sean Spencer, you just stop right there, because we all know that the artist formerly known as Matty Ice is not going to win no multiple Super Bowls. He couldn't even win one.
Oh God, look, hey.
Matt Ryan, where were you? Where were you? We was rooting for you, Matt Ryan. We was all rooting for you, Matt Ryan. We rooted for you in the Super Bowl. We tried to blame it on the offensive coordinator and say, why did they go to the pass from the run? Because they were running the ball right. Touchdown right, touchdown left. Campbell right, Campbell left. Defense on their backs. Tom Brady was standing over in the corner looking like he wound up looking right before Giselle said, I don't want to be married to you no more. People was blowing up my foot. Look, let me tell you, the Skip ain't here tonight. I'm just going to tell you, Skip Bayless, I see you in the street. It's on site. Just letting you know. I'm finna take my glasses off right now like I did on Skip the other day. Let me tell you something here. Then all of a sudden, if you win it by 28 points, you're supposed to win the game. If you leading by 33 points at halftime, you're supposed to win the football game.
Yeah.
I made excuses for Matty Ice. I come on here, me and my man Fingers, both in club, Shay, just sipping on some hen dog, talking about, look, Fingers, I don't know what's going on. He said, Shay, I don't know what's going on either. Look, then you turn around and do this? After all of Atlanta was rooting for you, how you let the phone fall down, Matt Ryan? Go sit down somewhere. Time for you and Tom Brady to do a high kickoff into the side stage and just and don't come back for no curtain call.
But how can you, Handy? How can you come back from this? I mean, this is just embarrassing.
The only thing I had to say when I saw it, I just looked at it and I said, well, thank you, Lord, it wasn't the Falcons for a change. That's the only good thing for me as a Falcons fan. That's the only good thing that came out of this is now that is no longer the Falcons cross the bear. It will still be, it's still in the history book, Matt, though. Yeah, I'm just saying.
It is.
But at least we don't have to deal with it no more. That's going to go in the history book with Rod Wright. That's going to go in the history book with Jim Marshall running the wrong way.
Uh-huh.
I can come up with some other stuff.
You're right, though. Those are the big ones, though. The white rice.
That could come up with. I don't know what that Three Stooges play was they did the other day. Well, we gonna do the pitch around and oops, I threw it to the wrong man. Oh, we not on the same team no more. What was that? The Patriots and the Raiders.
The Patriots and the Raiders.
Look out there looking like I looked Harlem Globetrotters out there looking like the Buck Tussle Globetrotters.
Yeah, they looking like something.
Man.
Matt, the artist formerly known as Matty Ice Ryan, needs to have several seats at this point. And I'm willing to give you, I'd give you this one right here, but you probably let somebody take it.
There it is. Wow.
And look, you've been waiting.
And just for the record, hold on, I got something else. I ain't quite done yet. Miss Nicole Klychuk, love you to death. We don't wish he was still playing for the Falcons. We glad he gone.
Straight from a Saints fan. Let's go. Wow. Yes, that was definitely long overdue. I think you're right, Delilah. That was something that was pent up. All right. He's
been waiting to let that out.
But man, for a long time. You know how mad I was having to go to work at the post office? Everybody was like, yeah, y'all gonna lose in the pages. Like, no, we got it. We gonna get this one. This gonna be the year. I talked smack all week. I had to deal with my coworkers at work and the people on my route. And I had several look, I told you I had to deliver mail the Monday after the week after the Super Bowl. I had to deliver mail to a man whose name was Dr. Thomas J. Brady, MD. And it was the only piece of mail he had was a Sports Illustrated cover with my man Edelman like this.
Right.
All that ribbon I had to put up with. People been coming at me with 28-3 for the last 5-6 years. You know how hard that is. That's almost as bad as being the one kid that mama always come to school in her house coat with her slippers and her bonnet on. Glad you going. Almost made me come outside myself and cuss on the podcast.
Wow. Yo, but look, at the end of the day, I mean, yes, you have to hate on and he warrants it with what happened. But look, Delilah, let's be honest. This is a two-part because yes, the Colts gave it up, but the daggone Vikings, I thought they were imposters. I thought they were a sham. They came back. Like, Kirk almost threw for 500 yards.
That's what I'm saying. Like he threw picks, and we're like, oh, there we go, right? Blah blah blah. Everybody's laughing. Here's Kirk messing up. Then he came back 4 different receivers, 4 different touchdowns. And one of them was Dalvin Cook because he didn't get a rushing touchdown. He got a receiving touchdown. Right. Thielen got a touchdown. Of course, Mr. Jefferson got a touchdown without a doubt, you know. Mm-hmm. But he had 4 different guys. Like, that was crazy. That's crazy, man. Like, I honestly, like, I like, you know, they do the side-by-side. They show them, like, the first half. They're like, and then the second half, it's like, I don't even think they could believe it. They're like, wait a minute, are we winning this game? Like, one, like, kudos to Kirk, like, not fouling under pressure. Like, I gotta say, that was pretty impressive. He came back. He's like, you know what? Let's go. We got a second half. And just connected with the 4 people he needed to get the, you know, the touchdowns. But on the other side, like, what the hell happened to the Colts defense in the second half? Because, yes, unfortunately, Maddie, you got to, as the quarterback, sadly, you know, these records, when this happens, it's going to hang on you, right? If we know this, that's just how this works. But, man, their defense was just, like, completely disappeared in the second half. Like, just gone. But
what's the common denominator, unfortunately? Who was quarterback in both teams?
Matt Ryan. Yeah.
No, I know, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's so unfortunate because we know football doesn't work like that, right? He put up points. He did, you know what I'm saying? And so unfortunately, like, you know, Nick the Smoke Rosario says it all the time. Mm-hmm. It always comes back to your leader, the quarterback. Like, regardless of the situation, however far you were ahead, even if other people choked, it's always going to fall on the quarterback's shoulders for these losses, right? And so that's just how it's going to go. Now he owns 2 of those records.
2 worse.
Somebody pulled the stat that said that he's had several other losses like that too, where they led by at least, I think it was a minimum of 15. It was like 5 or 6.
Yeah, but this is like,
I wouldn't doubt it. But look, and trying to give him a little bit of credit, like the Colts, we know the Colts are prone to having these type of things where they lose a game they're not supposed to. Going back to the Jaguars game at the end of last year, they had a solid team. A lot of those pieces are still on the team. Taylor did not play, but then everything you give them, it's just like they still had 33 points.
They did.
So there's
I was getting ready to say I ain't get the only credit Matt Ryan get with me right now is that bad credit, no problem you get at Rent a Center.
Right. It's ridiculous. Hey, look, and shout out to him. Hopefully he can get better from whatever going down the line. But like Nate said, there's a lot of stuff going on in Indy, and they already benched Matt Ryan once. After this, I
mean, they're not going anywhere. They're probably going to be eliminated next.
Right.
They don't have their stud Taylor. He's out for the season. Like, that's it. Like, the next time we see Jonathan Taylor is next season.
2023.
So he's out for the season. So it's like, at this point, go ahead and put whoever. I don't even know who's second anymore for Matt Ryan.
Who's their backup? Oh, is it Ellinger?
Yeah,
Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, Sam Ellinger out of Texas.
Mr. We're back.
That's right. Yeah, put him out. Let him finish out the last few weeks.
Why not?
See what happens. Like, can't hurt.
Shoot, Sam Ellinger probably sitting on the bench like, please God, don't put me in there. Please God, don't put me out there.
Nope, you're good. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Matt, if you're listening to our like little regional, well, not regional because we're across 3 different states, but you know what I mean. A little local sports talk show. It's time to retire, sir. Just, go home to your family. Yep. You've been in the league for like a million years. Like, just,
The ice is thawed.
Yeah.
Tell you like my grandmother used to say when all the cousins used to be cutting up at her house, go sit down somewhere.
Right. You need to. Look, we got some more to talk about. We are going to move on. It's something that give me 1 second. Had to come correct, actually.
He came with props, Delilah.
So I'm coming on the show. I got to make sure.
He got props like Carrot Top. Watch out.
The Washington Commanders lost to the New York Giants 20-12, and there's a lot of commotion. There's a lot of back and forth with some of the fans and a lot of the media, and asking the question: did the refs cost the Commanders the game? I'm going to come to you first, Anthony Handy. Did they cost us the game with just those couple penalties that you had at the end of the game?
I did not see the penalty. I did see the last play. I will say that was a bad call. Now, we cannot say for certain whether he would have caught the ball or whether he would not have caught the ball, but chances are pretty good. Looking at where the ball was placed, he would have got that. That would have been a touchdown. Then there's also the matter of, because you had to get a 2-point conversion to tie it up, right? Right. So then there's a 2-point conversion. Did that call cost you an opportunity to potentially win the game? Yes. Now, this is no knock on you and your squad, but I watched your show yesterday. So the one thing I will say is that there were 58 other minutes worth of football played.
Absolutely.
And there were opportunities there that were missed. So I'm not dogging your team, Commanders fans, but there was 58 other minutes of football that, if everything had been executed as it should have been executed, the game might not have come down to that one crucial play.
Absolutely.
This is that one that goes along with, was it a catch for Dez or was it not? Was it a catch for Megatron or was it not? Because those were also end of the game plays that wound up resulting in a loss for the team that would have won. Now, do I think the refs blew that call? I absolutely 100% do. Yeah. I mean, my man like he was hanging on him. He was hanging on him like Rose was hanging on Jack. I'll never let go, Jack.
Right. Till Jack just falls away. Yeah.
Right.
Look, I agree with you. I agree. I absolutely agree with you. And I look, you can't just look at the last couple of plays. And mind you, they were egregious. You have the one where Terry McLaurin is kind of off the line of scrimmage. He looks over to the ref and says, "Am I on the line?" The ref says, "Move up." He moves up a little bit, but not enough. And then the ref ends up calling it. And, Terry was really frustrated about that one. You talk about that play that you were talking about where Samuel it's draped all over Samuel. If you go back 2 plays before that drive, Taylor Heineke scrambles out and he has Jahan Dotson in front of him running towards the goal line. There's one guy to beat. And Taylor Heineke tries to do his signature, let me dive at the pylon, instead of simply taking a cut to the left and getting right into the end zone. If that happens, we're not even talking about any of this extra stuff. You know what I mean? On top of that, you have a missed extra point by Joey Sly, which then makes it a 5-point game when if they get more points, all of a sudden it's an 8-point game. Now we're already thinking touchdown, 2-point conversion. So you can't even just think touchdown. There are so many things we did, and not even just those penalties. Let's talk about our penalties. Talk about the false starts, the holdings, the pass interference on us, the things that either kept their drive alive or stopped our drive. There were so many other things in this ball game that were the reason why we lost this one. And look, they only had 2 good drives. And you know, it was really on us. So it's frustrating. If anything, I was frustrated at this one because in my opinion, we're better than these guys. These guys were like 1-3 in their last 4 games. We tied with them and we felt bad about that because we felt we should have beat them. So this week, yeah, it's been frustrating, and it kind of brings up another question that I'll kind of ask in a little bit about our QB situation, but there's a lot kind of going on right now. But Delilah, I mean, what do you think? You know, our offense struggled, but was it the refs or what?
I mean, my team has been on the end of those things, and even I've said that we can't leave it down to penalties. Nick has said it too. So it's not that they don't hurt. And we're not upset about the messed up calls and missed calls, or we're like, okay, why is that pass interference and not that against the other team? Like, I get it. Like, it hurts, sucks. But like we've both said, as football people, you have to outscore the other team so that there are penalties, they don't kill you, right? If there are mistakes, that's going to happen. They happen all the time. Like we said, we know famous plays where all of a sudden it's not a catch, it's not a touchdown, right? All these different things that, you know, for years we're like, what's going on? And so we can't leave it to penalties, right? We can't leave it to the referees. We have to like outscore so much that if they did mess up and like, which I get it, Scary Terry's upset because he was like, dude told me I was lined up. Then he tells me I'm not. So I would be upset. However, if they had put up a bunch of points on the Giants, then they might not be in this situation where I get the W. And I
would not be having
that,
this discussion right now.
And I said that with my own team when we get killed on penalties and things like that. Same thing. Like we can't leave it up to penalties to call our game. Because then it's that this happens and then we're like, oh, and then I don't know what's going on. My kicker's missing PATs too. Kick a field goal, misses a PAT. I don't understand it.
Ridiculous.
I don't get it. You can kick a 50-yard field goal, but you can't get a PAT. Like I don't get it.
Right.
But like, you know, that's what I mean. So it's like it's stuff like that. It's like that 1 point matters a whole damn lot, especially when it comes down to the wire like this, where it's 20-12. If there was 20-13. Then you wouldn't have to look at, you know, a 2-point conversion. I know we want to avoid another tie, but still, at least you get a chance, to try and win, you know. But yeah, I get it. It hurts. I too would have been upset. I saw the videos. It's true. Like there were multiple plays that the refs definitely screwed up. I 100% agree with that. But I feel like there's other issues to fix. So it doesn't become a problem. So it doesn't come down to a ref making a bad call or not a call, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, it sucks. Like, it does. It sucks. But at the same time, it's like, y'all definitely should have beaten the Giants for sure. Like,
without a doubt. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And Hanny, I'm going to come to you because now this raises a question in our organization. Look, we were 6-1-1 in the last 8 games coming into this game. And Taylor was our guy. And like Delilah said, when the quarterback's winning, regardless of how well they play, they're still the guy that's going to get the accolades. We've seen all the pictures and everything about Taylor. But let's be very, very honest. The Bears game was ugly. Actually, that was Carson in that one. But you got the game that we played against the Vikings was ugly. The game against the Colts was ugly. Your game, we barely beat. I mean, we scored 19 points and it was ugly. And we had to depend on an interception at the end to save that one. Taylor has been playing the same way, but it's been subpar. Carson Wentz is healthy. He's the guy we paid $28 million for. Do we start to entertain the idea of maybe bringing Carson back?
I'm thinking at this point, yeah, because your goal is to win a football game. Um, now I have long been an opponent of you're paying this guy X number of dollars, so he needs to play, but we know that's how the game is played. Like the best guy, period, needs to be on the field. Heineke has somebody made the joke on your show yesterday that he's he's one game past his 5-game shelf life or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he's not getting the job done, then then whoever can get the job done needs to be out there. You know what I mean? Period. If it's Carson Wentz, then it's Carson Wentz. If I know it's a real good feel good story for which he's ODU guy, right?
ODU, yeah.
He's a local kid, went to ODU. I know a couple of young ladies that went to ODU that had major crushes on him when he was in school there. They're like, "Oh my God, my heartthrob is playing. My husband's playing. For 18 million hearts." But I mean, it's a feel good story for a local kid.
It is.
But if he's not the one getting the job done, then it's time to hey kid, do like in baseball. The manager come out and be like, "Hey kid, good. Hey, you gave it a good shot.
Right.
Hit the showers."
Yeah. No, and absolutely, and that's the thing. Now I have to say, because it is a feel good story, Delilah. It is something that everybody's excited about, and he has.
No, I just like how he said that he was a heartthrob. That's why.
No, dude, y'all got no idea.
I know he's a stud off the field, man.
I know two females in particular that like every time the Commanders game is like, "Oh my God, my husband's playing."
But Delilah, one thing that we know is before Carson got hurt, Brian Robinson wasn't there. We had injuries along the O-line. Our defense wasn't playing great. Now our team is kind of coming together. Is it smart to kind of be like we need these we got the 49ers, the Browns, and the Cowboys.
I told you guys weeks ago. You're like, "Oh, let's go with the hot hand." I was like, go with your starter. I said that way back, and everybody disagreed with me. And I was like, get your starter out there. Like, no one wants to accept it, but he is the better, well-rounded, experienced quarterback. He's the one who should have been out there leading your team, and he should be out there now. I feel like he could win you the next few games. He's ready. He's healthy. He knows these guys. They know him. They respect him. We hear it all the time. When people were making fun of the Carson Wentz pickup, everybody's like, "Oh no, like we practiced, right?" Remember, everybody was out there rallying around him. So get him back out there. I honestly don't see why Rivera wouldn't start him at this point, because you guys are just neck and neck. If Detroit win. Detroit is catching up. God Almighty, the other team in the NFC North decided to win a game, and so it's like. Now he's got a taste for winning, and that's never good. I should know this as someone that has been playing against it for a million years. He's like a shark. He senses blood. It's there. Y'all gotta start winning games. Like everybody above number 10 needs to start winning games.
Needs to happen.
I'm telling you, I've seen it. Oh Lord, don't tell him, man. He smells the blood in the water is there. What did I say? See? Telling you. They're out there, man. They're like, dude, he's like, y'all gotta start winning games. So yeah, I think Wentz should be out there again. I think he should be leading your team again. I feel like he's your best chance at getting these last few W's so that y'all can keep your spot in the playoffs. Like I really do. So I don't know if Rivero agrees with me, but I think you should go with your starter.
I like that. And we'll see what he says. We'll see what he says and what move he makes. He's definitely said we'll see. We got one more quick topic we want to talk about in the coin toss, and I'm going to come to you, Delilah, because I want to save my man's comments for a little bit later. The NFC South this year has just been. I'm going to say it. It's been what the NFC least was a couple years ago. A dumpster fire. Nobody wants to win it. Even the GOAT has a stain on him this year. Yeah, it's been rough. It is the leading team in this division 6-7 6-8, and everybody else is 5-9. What's going on with the NFC South, Delilah?
Honestly, I feel like all those teams are just in shambles because they don't. Neither one. Actually, I think Panthers are more promising because at least they're building, they're retooling. I feel like at least the Panthers are kind of like, hey, we're figuring stuff out. Like we'll see who's our quarterback. Like they're feeling people out. They traded pieces, so they have picks, things like that. Like so I get that part, but I think with Atlanta, the Saints, and Tampa, I'm just like. Honestly, I don't know who actually is going to win that division. At first, we're like, oh, okay, it's going to be Tampa. Mm-hmm. Right now, they have a playoff spot, but doesn't mean they stay there. Like, they have to. Someone has to win the division so that, that's the only reason they're at number 4. That's the only reason, because of all the 4 teams in the NFC South, they just happen to be in first place right now. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I think there's just like, the Saints don't know who their leader's going to be. Like they've got a QB situation. They got the pieces. Like I really like, I like Olave. I think that kid is a stud. He has a future on that team. It's like you sadly just, Michael Thomas, I'm sorry. Alvin can't stay healthy. Now, all these guys, these aging, running backs and the wide receivers, mm-hmm. Like they just can't do it anymore. Like it's time to just it's time for them to actually rebuild with a new team. Like, get you need a QB. I don't know if Jameis Winston is your guy anymore. Like he's also made of glass, unfortunately. So like, I think the Saints really do need to fix like what they've got going on. At least Atlanta has a quarterback, so you can build around this kid. Right. Atlanta has a promising flip opposite, because they actually have a kid they can build a team around who's talented. Right. They've got a future. The Tampa also, all these guys are a lot older, right? They all came back because they thought, okay, maybe Gold came back out of retirement. That's the only reason some of these guys even stayed around.
Absolutely. So, Julio.
Yeah, so I just I think with these 2 teams, with the Saints and Tampa, it just has to do with aging. Like it's just everybody's kind of past their prime. It's kind of they need to retool. They need to figure out what's going on there. But at least Atlanta and NFC South. I don't even know. I honestly don't know who's gonna win that division because right now that's why they haven't called it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa gets knocked out of that number 4 spot that they have right now. And someone else moves in because we got only a few weeks, right?
Mm-hmm. We only have 3 or 4 weeks left. I mean, look, this might as well be like one of those.
It's going to the 18th week because it's not right. Right, so we get the extra game.
And it still is going to take some time. This is like one of those those how they do the voting coverage, like the election. It's like this is going to be a runoff. Like nobody wants to win this thing. And hey, look, Anthony, as somebody that's your team is in the midst of all of this, and you talked about it that you didn't think your team was going to do much of anything, and they've kind of done that with the quarterback trying to figure out who's quarterback, but you're still in the hunt. So I mean, what do you think about this, man?
The NFC South is kind of like a big pile. A really big pile. A pile of what, Anthony? I'm glad you asked, but I can't say it on this show.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's just it's one of them, like the ones that's so bad that you smell it before you see it. And then when you see it, you say, what did they eat? Mm-hmm. It's real. I mean, flies and everything else is just, flies won't even. They're like, no, I don't want no parts of that.
That bad.
It's that bad. I mean, now let's look at some things that have happened. The Panthers have lost a couple of their really big key pieces in the last couple of years. I mean, Cam, don't know what happened with him, but he just completely off the map. And then they sent him off to New England, and Cam is done, I think, as a quarterback. Christian McCaffrey is now in San Francisco, and those are their 2 biggest pieces the last several years before everything started falling apart for them. But the truth be told, Cam was not the same after that Super Bowl, but that's a different discussion for a different day. The Saints, the last couple of years, their Super Bowl winning coach, their Super Bowl winning quarterback, both retired.
Yeah.
And those guys were the cornerstone of that team, period.
Absolutely.
The Falcons went through a couple of coaching changes, and then Matt Ryan was gone. Because at least with Matt Ryan there, you knew you were going to win at least 8 games. At least 8. And then he was going to lose a couple of big games with big leads. But we ain't going to go back into that again. Because we already discussed that earlier. Read your syllabus if you missed the earlier part of the dissertation. And then as far as the Buccaneers go, the Buccaneers spent a bunch of money to put a team together. With some Bondo, a couple of pieces of chewing gum and things like that to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then I don't think all of those guys returned after that. And like it or not, Tom Brady will go down. Tom Brady, before the like it or not, let me preface. Tom Brady will most likely go down in NFL history as the greatest quarterback to play the game. Period. If somebody else come along and break all the records that he did and do all the things that he did, good for him. Good on him. I think, Patrick Mahomes has the potential to do that, but that's another discussion for another day. The fact of the matter is, Tom Brady's 45 years old. I'm 52. I'm in decent shape. I couldn't go out there 18, 19 weeks and let. Good God, I love me some Big Baby Davis, but if I got up underneath center and I saw him coming, I look. You know how the coach go down. You know how they go down them fake injuries. What's wrong, man? You all right? Yeah, my leg. Get the cart. You want us to look at it? Get the cart. He can't. Did he hit you?
Got me.
Yeah, did he get you? No, but he came real close. I don't want to try it again. So it's only so much beating and banging on your body that you can take at that level.
Yeah.
And he's been in the league since he graduated college, right? So there's only so much that your body can take before it starts to show signs. I mean, he probably still is under better circumstances as a top player in the league, but those circumstances don't exist right now.
No.
So right now I honestly think that the whole reason that division is the way it is just due to finally you're starting to see the trickle down result of changeover on the rosters.
Yeah.
I mean, and the changeover has been insane between a quarterback that was with the Falcons for over a decade, a quarterback that was with the Saints for over a decade. The Falcons this is Arthur Smith's first season, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, that's right. This is either first or second season. This is what's his first season as a coach at the Saints. So you're gonna get a lot of they're going through a lot of let's figure this out right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, it's up in the air, and we'll see. It's going to come down to it, but we know whoever they play in that first round most likely will be an NFC East team. So good luck, especially if it's a Dallas team with that defense. We'll see what happens. But
thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.